I'm Brian Carter here at Dawson County High School with Sid Maxwell, third-year head coach of the Dawson County Tigers. Coach Maxwell, thanks for your time. I always enjoy getting to talk Tigers football with you.
Thank you, Brian.
Now, you're fresh off of the season closing. You made it to the Sweet 16. What's it like for this program that typically had not been used to even making the playoffs, and you come in and turn this program around 3 years in a row, making state, which has never been done before here, and then not just getting there, but making it past the first round?
Well, I'm truly blessed. What a great community, Dawson County. The fans, everybody's so involved from administration. So it all starts from the top.
Yeah.
With administration and their vision. I've been lucky enough to come in here with a coaching staff that's allowed me to be successful because, again, I'm smart enough to hire good people around me.
Yeah.
And then again, we just brought a system in. This is my third school. My 23rd year of being a head football coach. And I haven't moved around much when I've stayed, but brought a system in where these young men really took to it, believed in it, and they play hard for 48 minutes. When that happens, you've got a great chance for success.
Absolutely. And speaking of success, Coey Watson, 4-year starter here for Dawson. You were blessed to be able to come in and have a young but really talented quarterback and have him for 3 years. I know there's no easy way to ask this, and there's probably no answer to it. How do you replace, if that's even possible, a guy like Coey Watson?
Well, first of all, Coey brings a lot more than just moving the chains. He brings a attitude that my many years of coaching that just doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
And again, he just makes others around him rise up and become better because he expects it. And when they get in the huddle, they all believe in him, and they know they can get it done.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure you can replace that, because those don't come around that often.
Right.
But the big time is when you're building a program, and to be consistent, always come to it and measure of greatness is being consistent. And can you do it time in and time out? And so the guys sort of know that we graduated 34 seniors last year, and everybody thought this was going to be a rebuilding year, and we were able to come in and advance even better than we did the previous year.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it's just a young man believing in what we're doing and making things happen.
Yeah. And so I know you're already, I don't know how quick after the season ended or at what point, but I know you're probably already looking to next season. When we look at the quarterback role, is that something that, again, like you said, you can't necessarily replace a Coey Watson, but what can you say about that position, how you kind of foresee that playing out next year?
We again, since I've been here, we developed when I first got here, we had a JV and a varsity team. Since then, it's my third year, we have the 6th, 7th, 8th, a freshman team and a JV team all running our system.
Yeah,
and
so more experience.
So we're putting coaches into play, so when that young man hears that offensive play in the 6th grade, in 3 years now, he's heard for 3 years, time he's a senior, he's heard for 6 years. So I always tell him, you need to know the system as you know your name. If you do that, the game will come easy for you. Yeah. And the repetitions, when you don't have to put a lot of thought into it, then you're able to play at a higher level.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge for you trying to get these kids to buy in? Because you said, luckily, you're the type of guy, I mean, just being around you for a few minutes, you can tell, like, I'm going to believe most of everything he's telling me, and I know you can get the most out of your players. So I'm sure you don't face much of that, but what's the hardest part of getting kids these age to buy in?
Well, again, you have to have I think a philosophy that they can say, hey, that makes sense to me. I tell mine, it's not the importance about speed is can you stop? And then you can start again. And then when you look at the game of football, it's a 3-yard race. So if you can learn to be very fast in 3 yards, you have a great chance for success. We're not running out here timing the 40. So just make sure you're in a strong stance, strong upper body, move efficiently, stop efficiently, and we build that from the weight room, from being everything we do is focused on movement. And if you get stronger, you'll move better. But once you start putting all stacking the joints, putting everything into play, and becoming elastic, then you have a better chance to create more force.
I see what you mean. That's a good way to get them to grasp something a little closer.
And we try to build everything I do has a purpose. If it doesn't have a purpose, we don't do it. I'm not a big guy that runs a lot of conditioning. I don't believe in it.
Right.
I believe you play the game fast. We try to snap the football as soon as they blow the whistle, and very high tempo. Yeah. And we practice that way. We don't practice long. We're in there. We start at 3, we're through at 5. As we get into the season, we even cut back even more than that.
Yeah.
And we try to keep our young men fresh. And again, like I said, everything we do is, if it's not going to make you more an athlete, that goes from the weight room to the athletic field, then we don't waste our time doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the sort of the buy-in, knowing that we're just not doing to do. That everything we do, we're going to be very efficient and very, very sound, and again, hoping that we're being as diligent about utilizing their time as much as possible, so they know what they spend with us it has a purpose.
Yeah. And what can you say about, I know you expect the most out of all your players, top to bottom. Most coaches would. So I know it's probably fair to say you weren't completely surprised by Sivan Clarke's season that he had, but apparently, for the rest of us, kind of just came out of nowhere, off the radar, and had a phenomenal year. And that bodes well for you next year, having that strong running back coming back to kind of lead the offense. Did you foresee that kind of success there this year?
We did. I felt like that Sivan, once he got more comfortable with the system, and always, again, I always tell him, just make one cut and make sure the next one's over top of somebody. Yeah. That's the straightest way up to the goal line, and he really became a really strong runner with focus. And again, I told him, like I said, early on, I think he was tweaked a little bit with the hamstring. It slowed him down, and again, also just learned the system, and he's new to our system. He came in late last year. Yeah. And he was actually on defense.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he wasn't on offense.
Yeah.
And so it took him a while to get used to it, but as he got into it, he was obviously, he's got a big upside. Yeah. And something to look forward to in the future.
And I'm sure he's going to grow some this coming year, so I pity any defense that has to face him next year. But where did the, last question for you, where do the Tigers go from here? The season's over. Have you had a chance yet to talk with the guys who are returning next year and talk about, where you go from here?
Well, this is going to be, like I said, this will be our 4th year with 3 years of success. And again, I think hopefully you get to the point in this program where the expectations set. It's and I always tell them it's tough to get to the top of the mountain. Yeah. It's even harder to stay there, because now people are going to be shooting for you. Yep. And I think at one time when we first started Dawson County, we were sort of shocking a lot of people we had success. And then after that, it's been more of people bring their A game to us a little bit more, and then we got to rise up to that. And again, I think setting the expectations of the people who played before us, sort of set the standard that the others need to follow. And again, as we pass the torch to the next group, they know the expectations of the program. And they know their job is to not be satisfied with that, but try to raise the bar. And again, it all comes down to, give us 100%. Do your best. It's just a game. If you're going to fail, fail forward. But fail, and I mean by that, you're trying to do what we're trying to do, and believe in the system. And the big thing is to have fun doing it. It's a game, and that's how I approach it. And we're more than just 40 minutes of football. We're trying to be a program in these young men's life, both character ed, more as a friend. There's a support, so even when they leave the program, a lot of them keep coming back and being a part of it. And that's really, to me, when you develop something, especially in a community like Dawson County, a lot of these guys leave and come back, and it's more of a family feel, and where we've not really gotten big, like maybe it happened to me when I was down at Lambert, because there's so many numbers and so many people moving in and out. Here, the community, it's they're still talking football at Bojangles Saturday morning, which is, guys, it's so pleasant. It's like going back in the 90s. Yeah. So for me, it's been really rewarding to be able to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, I can definitely tell why everyone buys in to you. You're a great coach and a great role model to these guys, and congrats again, Coach, on a great season, and I can't wait for next year already.
Well, we're we'll start after Christmas and back to square one.
All right. Check out our interview also, if you haven't already, with Coey Watson here on Blitz.